Good morning, guys. Good morning. Monday morning, success in trading. How are you doing? I can't believe a week has passed already. Geez, this time last week, we were in Margate at a photo shoot, and I was doing this a week ago. Who knew that a week later we would be in a global lockdown? It is absolutely incredible how quickly the world has changed in a week. Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. Right, okay, so today I want to talk about trading through this Black Swan event, okay? But first, who am I? My name is Judy V, and I'm co-founder of the Tribe of Traders, and we work with traders to become profitable through our unique approach to trading. And that's what makes it work, because we have a unique approach to trading. We know and understand that trading is not just simply about placing trades, it's about trading in a certain way. And oh my gosh, never, ever has that ever been more relevant than it is now, and more pertinent than it is now. We need to trade in a certain way right now. You cannot just continue just to trade thinking that you can be profitable by simply placing trades. One of the things that I've always said, that success in trading requires modeling what we call the genius trading model. And that is a model, a framework that we trade within. And part of that framework is having a very clear vision of what it is that you would love, why you're trading, what it is you would love to achieve in your trading, and it's for your trading forms part of your wealth building. It's a strategic part of your wealth building. So all of those are critical elements in understanding in successful trading. They're all vital elements. But right now, there will be a lot of people who are in fear and in panic, and the market is showing us this. Okay, the market is nothing but a sort of a visual representation. What we see in the charts is nothing but a visual representation of what is going on for us emotionally, psychologically, what is actually going on for us the world over, and that is what's being represented in the charts at the moment. You've got a lot of volatility. You've got a lot of there's a lot of trend, but a lot of volatility. And one of the things I've always said about successful trading, to be successful in trading, is you need to have a very high level of self-awareness. And right now, we need that high level of self-awareness more than any other time that any one of us knows of. Because none of us know how to deal with this. There's great uncertainty right now. We are in the midst of what will become or will be known as a Black Swan event, right? One of the key component parts of it, if you look up and understand what a Black Swan event is, one of the key component parts of a Black Swan event is that retrospectively you can see where there were great benefits and where there was growth opportunities and where there was great progress made, or shifts or paradigm shifts in humanity that actually happened during the Black Swan event. But most of them are retrospective or the benefit of hindsight. But my mission is to take as many traders through this, whilst also simultaneously seeing, acknowledging, and capitalizing on the benefits that there are in this, in the midst of all of this. Right now is a time that we need to be focusing on becoming financially resilient and financially empowered. All right, more than ever, we need that. We need to be financially resilient right now, but we're going to be battling being financially resilient and continue to trade because of two reasons. One, the world is in panic, the world's in fear. How do we stay out of that? And the other one is, and it came up this morning in one of the mentor sessions I did this morning, that there will be people who are feeling guilty about being able to trade and able to make money and being able to continue with their life when there are so many millions that are not. So we're needing to address those two issues during this time. And if you don't address them, it's going to impact your ability to trade, because you're going to be projecting a lot of beliefs and guilt and so on into your trading. You're introducing that into your trading, which is going to limit your level of success. Okay. So what I will say to people right now, to continue trading, you're going to need to be incredibly self-aware. You need to be mindful of where you are at in terms of inspiration, in terms of fear, in terms of panic. Because if you're consumed by that fear and panic, you're going to really, really struggle to trade profitably. Okay, if you can elevate yourself out of that and remain in an inspired state and observe the fear, but don't get sucked into the fear, you will be able to trade profitably and consistently. But how do you do that, right? How do you remain out of the fear and out of the panic in order to remain consistent and sort of balanced in your ability to trade? And this is the solution to that is something that we are going to need to master over this Black Swan event. We're going to need to master that. And the benefit of mastering that is that at the other end of it, when we get through this, because guys, we will get through this. Okay, we will get through this. There's no doubt about that. When we get through this, you will have mastered a level of self-awareness that will just literally skyrocket not just your trading, but your life and all your wealth building activities, because you become so self-aware. One of the biggest challenges, probably the biggest challenges that majority of traders have, not just retail traders, but professional traders too, the biggest challenge that they have is that they don't understand, or they're not aware of we're not aware of what is actually driving them. Okay, what is their belief system? What are the beliefs they're projecting onto the market? Because so many people trade their beliefs and not the market. They trade the beliefs on the market, or what they believe the market is telling them, rather than what the market is doing. It is the biggest issue for traders, not just retail, but also professional traders the world over. It is my opinion, that is what stops traders being profitable. Okay, and the solution to that is becoming self-aware. What are your beliefs? What are the beliefs that are driving you? What are the beliefs you're projecting onto the market at any one time? As I always say, there are 3 sets of beliefs that we trade all the time. The one is the beliefs around the strategy. The strategy has a set of beliefs by the very virtue of the fact that it has rules. If X happens, then Y, and then A happens, then B. There are basic rules and a set of beliefs around a strategy. But here's the thing: the strategy has been profoundly and extensively tested, right? But then you've got another set of beliefs, which is situational beliefs. It's whatever you're bringing to your trading in that moment in time. So you get up in the morning, you might have had a bad night, children might have kept you awake overnight, you might be running late for a meeting, whatever it is, that's a situational belief. That is going to be impacting the way in which you're looking at the charts and the sort of trade ready state you'll be in, that will be impacted, right? So you add those set of beliefs, that scenario, into the mix of the set of beliefs with the strategy. You've got an untested strategy, right? And also worse, you've got a not consistent strategy, because whatever the situational beliefs you bring in today will be different to you tomorrow and be different to last Friday. So you're not getting consistency. Then you've got inherent beliefs, which are inherent in terms of your relationship with money, your relationship with wealth building, your relationship with deserving, that you deserve to be successful, and the innate beliefs that you have about yourself, your self-worth, and so on, which again, when you add that into the mix along with situational to the strategy, again, you've got a completely whole host of rules and beliefs that are untested, which is why, that is the reason why we have a lot of traders who battle to be consistently successful in their trading. Okay, now more than ever, we have an opportunity to deal with that. We have an opportunity to address that by becoming extremely self-aware. And here is why now we need to be more self-aware than ever before in our entire life. And that is, we need to be self-aware enough that we're remaining out of the fear and out of the panic. It is so easy at this point in time, guys, for us to be pulled into that fear and panic. The media is doing what the media does, okay? It needs eyeballs, right? And it is doing everything it can to suck your eyeballs into their drama, okay? How I explain it is, if you're listening and if you're getting sucked into the fear and the panic, you're listening to the drama of the media, of others, right? You're subjugating yourself to their agenda, okay? You're becoming a victim to their agenda rather than the master of your own agenda. So that is why you need to be mindful of where your mind is at. Where are you? What are you thinking? What are you focusing on? Because if you're focusing your whole day in, day out, about this, what's unfolding around us. As I said, when I started this morning, I said like a week ago, we were in Margate. We were in a photo shoot in Margate. Now, 1 week later, the whole world is in lockdown. The whole world's economy has ground to a halt, okay, in 1 week. Okay, it happens very quickly. So we need to be mindful of where we're putting our attention. Because if we're putting our attention into all that fear and panic around us, we're going to be bringing that to our trading. Okay, so increasing our level of self-awareness and where our focus is going is never been so vital as it is now. And the benefit of that is that's the level of self-awareness we need to trade profitably, even outside of a Black Swan event. So we will be serving ourselves, our family, our community powerfully by remaining focused and conscious and aware of where we're putting our energy, where we're putting our focus, where we're putting our thoughts, right? Because we owe it to ourselves, our family, and our community to stay away from that fear and panic, to stay focused on our own agenda. And our own agenda needs to be remaining financially resilient and financially empowered, and a high immune system, right? A high level of immunity in order to protect us should we get the virus, or should we, or with the higher the level of immunity, you might be able to repel the virus as well. Okay, so we need to be able to stay out of fear. The more you're in the fear, the you weaken your immune system. So everything we need to do to protect ourselves and our family right now is exactly what we need to do for successful trading, even during what, dare I say it, even during normal times, okay? So here's the thing. It's going to be normal and natural if you do go into panic, if you do find yourself paralyzed to a standstill right now, because we've never experienced anything like this before in the history, right? It's the first time. None of us have ever, not Warren Buffett, not George Soros, not Ray Dalio, none of those guys, none of them have ever experienced this. We don't know. And that is the biggest challenge we're dealing with right now, is because we love certainty. We need certainty. It's the fiber of our very living body. All right, and I say body deliberately, not being, but body. Because our amygdala, our reptilian brain, needs certainty. Remember, it's predator-prey, fight or flight. It has to be right, which is, again, why we struggle with trading, because we have to be right. Okay, because when you're trading from that head state, you need to be right. When in actual fact, in trading, you can't afford to be right. You can't afford that. The market's always right, not you. All you can do is respond to what the market is telling you, right? And we need to let go of the need to be right. And the way in which to do that is to come out of your head and what I call trade from the heart. Now, a lot of people think I'm nuts when I talk like that about trading, but I'm sorry, I've seen it too often. I've witnessed it. I've experienced it myself. I have seen traders' lives transform as they go from trading from the head to trading from the heart. So not just their trading transform, but their lives transform. So uncertainty is a very uncomfortable place for us to be, and we are in uncertain terms and uncertain times. And the reason why uncertainty is very uncomfortable for us is because if you're living in your head, where the amygdala or the reptilian brain or the monkey brain, there's many different ways of calling it, that needs certainty. It's predator or it's prey. It's black or it's white. It's one or it's the other, right? It needs certainty and it needs to be right, and it will react to what that is, right? We can't have that right now because we have none of it. So now what we're needing to do in order to stop that chaos in our head is to get out of our head, go to our heart, and start meditating, start slowing down the noise in our brain, start focusing on our own agenda, start focusing on how we can contribute to ourselves, our family, our community, and society as a whole. And the way to do that is by living life according to your agenda and not subjugating yourself to the agenda of the virus or the media or those that want to propagate the panic and the fear. Okay? So I would urge you to what I call step up and be part of the solution by not getting into that panic, not getting into the fear, and start becoming increasingly self-aware and increasingly clear about what it is, what your agenda is in life, what it is you would love in life, and start taking action steps closer to that every single day. And you can do that even if you're confined in your own home. You know, you can actually take powerful steps, and this is a matter what scenario you find yourself in, and in doing that, you are increasing your immune system. Okay, because you're living life according to your agenda, your values, your purpose. You have a clear vision of what it is you would love to create, and every single day you take steps toward that. I mean, we've got the internet at our fingertips. How fortunate! Could you imagine going through this without internet, for example? Without the ability to continue to generate money, generate income. And the world needs people to continue the economy. All right. So I had one lady who was feeling guilty, and she wasn't alone. A lot of people will be feeling guilty of being able to continue making money, be able to continue generating income during this time when so many can't. Okay. The world needs us to continue to keep the ball rolling, needs to keep the wheels of the economies churning. Okay, the world needs it. Okay, we need to keep a semblance of normality to keep on going in amongst all this abnormality around us. Okay, it's so vital right now. It has never been more important than now. It's for the good of it's for the good of ourselves, good of our family, good of our community, good for society, that we continue to focus on becoming financially resilient, financially empowered right now more than ever, because it not just serves us, it serves society as a whole. Okay, so it's really, really important. There are just so many benefits and so many opportunities during this Black Swan event, and we're going to need to increase our level of self-awareness to understand where we're at, to stay out of the panic, out of the fear, in order to continue to trade profitably. And then in doing that, we contribute to the global economy all the time. We do that, but plus we are instilling really incredibly supportive behavior patterns for ourselves for when we get through this, because we will get through this. There's absolutely no doubt about this. We will get through this, and the world will be a different place at the other end. So my question to you, and I'm going to leave this with you, do you want to be a winner or a loser when you get through the other end? Because the way in which to be a winner is to stay out of the fear, out of the panic, and focused on your agenda, on your goal, focused on becoming financially resilient, financially empowered for you, for your family, for your community. And in doing so, you powerfully serve society as a whole. And in doing so, you will raise your immune system. You will be able to knock off the virus should you get it, or you will avoid getting it, you repel it, all right? And therefore, you don't become a drain, okay? And if you do, you do, okay? If you do, you do. But ideally, don't. Ideally, use this time to to embed behavioral patterns, to become incredibly self-aware, to grow and evolve, I mean, on the border of order and chaos is where the greatest gifts are. Okay, that is a fact. In the darkest times, you can actually find the most phenomenal gifts. I'm living, walking proof of that. I've been there myself. I've been there. It's like, I swear, it's like going back 30 years, because when I was a child growing up, I was locked up until I escaped, right? In my early 20s, I was locked up until I was in my early 20s, and I had to literally escape. And now, 30 years later, we're going through that same scenario. But during those years of being locked up and then that dark place, I was able to find the most magnificent gifts, the most magnificent, the beauty of life. And I used them to powerfully, that when I did escape, I was able to create a life, that people can only ever dream of. So right now we have phenomenal gifts. And would you like to come out of this at the other end a winner, having grown, having become financially resilient, having become financially empowered? Because you can. This is the time in which you can, more than any other time. But it's going to require you to step up, become very self-aware, become very focused, become single-focused on your agenda, and to the point where you're drowning out all the noise outside of us. And again, if you do get stuck, if you do get drawn into the drama, if you do get drawn into the fear, and you do find yourself paralyzed with fear in moments of time, that's okay. All right, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Be really kind to yourself. It's okay. But let it be fleeting. Catch yourself. Be kind to yourself and say, okay, now's not the time to dwell on this. Now's the time to move forward, to powerfully move forward. What can I do next that will inspire me? Whatever it is. Anchor. Put anchors in place for you. Everyone who knows me knows that I just need to hear seagulls. If I'm really down or depressed, I just need to hear seagulls. And straight away, that puts me into a place of joy and inspiration, because I love that sound. I really love that sound. So what can you anchor yourself? What can you use when you're in lockdown to anchor yourself? So is it the sound of your child's laughter? What is it can you create that will take you out of that fear, out of that panic, and into that open-hearted state of love and gratitude that will immediately put you into that inspired state? Okay, it's okay to get pulled into the drama, but be self-aware enough that that's what's happened, and be kind to yourself, and then look for ways to get out of it as quickly as possible and create anchors. Okay. All right, guys. Great opportunity to sum up. Great opportunities to be gained through this time. Really phenomenal opportunities to be gained through this time. A Black Swan event. We only get, most people go through whole lifetimes and they don't have these events. We have it. Yes, there's a lot of suffering. Yes, there's a lot of pain associated, but equally there's, by the very laws of the universe, there's a lot of benefit to be gained from it. And if nothing else, let's be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And being part of the solution means we keep the wheels of the economies going by growing our financial resilience and growing our financial empowerment and growing our success in trading. And that will stand us in powerfully good stead when we get to the other end. Life will not be the same on the other side. Life will be very different. What will it be for you? Will it be different in terms of being a winner? Or are you going to come out the other side drained and fractured from having been caught up in the drama? Or are you going to come out the other end having grown, having thrived, having got stronger, having built solid foundations for incredible growth in your life? It's a choice you make. It really is. It's a choice. So then I'm urging you, I'm challenging you to make the choice of empowerment. Because with empowerment, you're unstoppable. And there is absolutely no reason why you cannot create the life of your dreams as we go through this situation. And in doing that, you are serving society as a whole. You are serving those who are suffering because you're keeping the wheels turning. Okay. So why would you not do it? All right, guys, keep well, keep safe, keep inspired. All right. Lots of love.